I cannot believe it. That just snuck up on me. I mean, this whole week I've been like, what day is it? I don't know. Like I thought yesterday was Tuesday. Today felt like a Friday. Fridays, I don't really do shit, so maybe it is my Friday. I don't know. So I make it my goal not to start anything new on Fridays for work. I try to wrap everything up and try to not actively start anything new, finish things up, all of that. Okay, while people are joining, I'm going to remind y'all to go to coopedup.com and just check things out. I also have a place where you can give me your email address. I got a newsletter in the works. I know I've been saying that for weeks, but it is true. It is true. And then if you're on the gram, you can follow me. I'm cooped up on the gram. So hey mama, good to see you. People are joining still. I had happy hour. So I started with this full. I had happy hour with my staff, just my team at my PR firm, just a few moments ago. So I have had a few sips of wine already. So it's going to be a fun one. I hope. I hope. So one of the things I've been wondering. So I'm just going to give in. Just stop teasing myself about that. One of the things that I'm wondering is, when is it going to be fall? Like it is. So October is my very favorite month in Dallas. In most places, it's gorgeous. It's where it's cool in the mornings. It warms up a little bit during the day, although it's been warming up. I think it's like 90 degrees today, yesterday as well. And then it cools down at night again. Normally in Texas, during like summer and stuff, it just gets dark at night. It doesn't cool down. And so I love October for that. But I also love that in October is when we get our cold fronts, and that's when you can start wearing sweaters and scarves and jackets and all kinds. I love fall attire because fall attire is the best. Fall attire is layers and fun and fashion and all that without it having to go to a utilitarian place. You know, like if you live in fucking Chicago or Maine or even New York sometimes, you transition from fall fashion to just don't fucking freeze to death, right? And so I'm glad we never hit, maybe for like a weekend we'll hit that little middle point. But for the most part, our jackets are more there for looks and just a layer of warmth, but not to actually keep us from dying from the cold. But I'm ready for it. I love my sweaters. I love the forgiveness that having lots of layers has. You know, I always layer. I always wear a t-shirt, even under t-shirts. I always wear a t-shirt. But I want my scarves. I want to be able to wear like my wool scarves, my woven scarves, those types of things. Can't really wear them right now because it's still too warm. I can get away with the bandana. That's my summer. My summer. And then I have my spring scarves, which are the linen scarves that I wear. And actually, I don't know. Can I wear my linen scarves in the fall? I'm not sure. I guess there are no rules. I shouldn't shoot myself to death, right? Hey, Sandy. Sandy, your package is on the way, finally. Your rainbow Mickey that you won from our 100th episode. Just fucking got around to doing it today. And here's the funny thing is I went to package it up, print out a shipping label and stuff to get it to you. Turns out it was cheaper for me to just go buy another one and ship it to you with free shipping directly from Disney. So you're getting a new one. Straight up from Disney. I don't know when it'll be there when I get tracking stuff. So now I got a Mickey now of my own as well. I kind of planned it that way all along, didn't I? Mm-hmm. Aaron is saying, it's 2020. You can do whatever you want. You won't. I don't know why I said, God, I'm country today. I know. 2020. And why are this is what makes me mad. I don't know why the little icons aren't showing up today. Yesterday either. I don't like that. I want to see your little faces next to everybody. So I had something unusual happen earlier today. So I get this message over Facebook from someone that says, it said, why did a bunch of Amazon boxes with your name and address on them end up in my front yard? Empty Amazon boxes. I'm like, why are you coming on so hot? I don't fucking know. I literally was like, I don't know. Maybe they were in the bulk trash. Maybe someone fished them out of the recycling. I don't know. Sorry, do you need me to come get them? Like, what do you need? And there was nothing, but it was just that whole coming on so hot, like assuming intent, assuming that I in some way, and maybe this is just me, one of my insecurities, but I the intention, the assumption of negative intention. I usually assume that people are honest. And you just keep honest people honest. My granddaddy used to always say that. That I assume people are kind. That I assume people are trying not to take advantage of me, and I'd rather get taken advantage of occasionally than to constantly be on guard about being taken advantage of. We've talked about this before. So, but for this guy, he's like, "Why did a bunch of your empty Amazon boxes end up in my front yard?" I'm like, your guess is as good as mine, dude. I don't know. I don't even know you. And he's like, and I live on, and it was like 4 blocks that direction. So it wasn't even it couldn't have been the wind. It couldn't have been the rain. Bulk trash maybe picked them up and then they fell out of the truck. I don't know. The garbage truck maybe they fell out of. I don't know how they would have. Maybe someone picked them up and they blew out of. I don't know. I don't know. But it's like, why you gotta be a dick about it, right? Michelle's saying, be glad you don't live in Michigan. FBI just foiled a plot to kidnap the governor by a militia group. I saw a little bit of that earlier in between all my different things I'm working on. Wow. And are these the people that were told to stand by and stand down? Maybe not specifically, but these militia groups. That is my fear, actually. Come like November 4th and 5th and 10th or whatever, like depending on how all this plays out, my big fear is that we won't have the purge, that we're going to have all these people taking justice into their own hands. And I don't know what I assume it's from the right because they're the ones with the guns. I don't know. But so, and Cheryl's saying, my mom is saying maybe it's snitchy. Maybe the boxes have been the message was a few weeks old actually. So it wasn't from today. I was just in that other like message request thing, and I just saw it today, and then I finally responded to it. Maybe you might have an idea there. Maybe that person, no, but they wouldn't be reporting other people. They would just be pissed at me. But there's a lot of other people getting reported. But I was thinking maybe they were pissed off at me, so they came back and they're like, duh, 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 right? I don't think that's the case. The more I think about it, because why would they be picking on other people unless they just got drunk on their power? But yeah, yeah. So anyway, so yeah, okay. My Amazon boxes, you'll be okay. Like if this is the worst problem is that you got my Amazon boxes. Now, so Sarah thinks it's a weird pickup line. Well, I've had stranger. I once, and I was not planning to talk about this. I've only told this story a few times. So when we lived in Oak Lawn, which is it used to be like the traditionally gay area of Dallas. It's become much more like young professional, kind of urbanized, all that kind of stuff. But when we lived there, we had our townhouse. Todd and I were already together. We owned our townhouse at the time, and I was out walking one of our chihuahuas, and I'm walking on the street, and this random guy in a Suburban with a fucking car seat in the back seat pulls up next to me and is like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Hi, I like your dog." I'm like, "Hi." And here's the thing, because I'm 6.5 feet tall and white, like I'm not actually that scared of many people. Like you're not gonna fuck with this. I was skinny as a rail at the time, but still. This guy gets out and he starts coming and talking to me, and I'm like, and I'm literally just like either like whatever or just giving off all this vibes because this would have been in like 2002, so like 18 years ago. So I was in my mid 20s at that time, 26, I guess, and no less than that. Well, whatever the math is on that. So then we're talking, and then finally he goes, "So do you need some help with that?" And he like kind of looks at me funny, and I'm like, "Help with what?" And he looks at my crotch, and he goes, "Do you need any help with that?" And I'm like, "I'm good." First of all, again, I was like 24 years old. Let's go with 24 years old. For a 40-year-old to be hitting on me, I'm like, okay, you're gross and old and big and old and ugh. And he had a car seat in the back seat. Ugh. I mean, how things have changed for me, right? I'm like, I'm still sexy. Don't mind the car seat. But no, this guy like is literally trying to pick me up, and I don't even know what was going to happen. Was I going to say, "Sure, let's get in the back of your let me get in the back of your Suburban, come on inside my house"? Like I don't. Obviously, this line has worked for him before. 'Cause I cannot imagine that I am so much glamour, luxury, sex appeal, all of that, that he was some random straight guy who was like, because I'm pretty sure he was a straight guy. Well, straight guy. Um, and I'm not going to say I was not all of those things that suddenly I'm like, suddenly he's like, you know what? I got to have a piece of that. Like, oh, what came over? I don't know what came over me. I just Cooper. It's just the magic of Cooper. I don't know why I'm telling you all this story, but that was talking about weird pickup lines. Like just so like, can I help you with that? Help me with what? I'm walking a 2 pound chihuahua. Like our chihuahua was literally like 2 pounds, teacup chihuahua. Yeah. What? He knew I was, ugh. Monica saying loose skin, wrinkly balls, gross. Hair in the weirdest places, little pudges of fat in the weirdest places. I possess all of these things. Hair growing out of the weirdest places. Got to keep my Walter Cronkite eyes. But I remember, do y'all remember like being like in high school or freshmen in college, and like the seniors, they just were big. They just seemed so. First of all, they seemed like they had it all together. Their hair seemed bigger. Their heads seemed big. Everything about them just seemed bigger, right? And then if you happen to meet someone who was already graduated from college, even if they were just a few years out of college, it felt like that was like a yes sir, yes ma'am situation, right? Like just weird, weird. I'm going off the rails today. And then when I was, this was before Todd, so this would have been like '98. Because Todd and I got together in early '99, and no, I was in college still when this next story happened. So this would have been like '94, '95. I was like 20. I dated a 30-year-old, Brad. Can't remember his last name, Brad. Um, and I thought, oh, this is so daring. Oh, he's so much older than me, blah, blah, blah. Which, granted, 30 is a lot older than 19. It's very different than being 40 and dating a 51-year-old. But yes. Now, and Aaron is like, now we're the 40-year-olds driving the SUVs with the car seats in the back. I've graduated out of the car seats, thank goodness. The minute I knew that I was legal to not have one, it was like, gone. I didn't even care about what the study said. It was all about legality. I was like, okay, they're legally heavy enough, or they're legally whatever the age, or I don't remember what it was. I was like, gone. I don't care. I don't go anywhere anyway, so it's not. And I rarely drive faster. Um, Jody is saying when I was on my run a couple of years ago and found 3 empty boxes for 3 different addresses. It was porch pirates going around taking the contents and throwing the boxes out the window. I took the boxes to the houses and let them know that they're not getting their packages. That's nice. I don't think we're missing anything though. Certainly not from Amazon. I think I get notifications when stuff arrives. And funny enough, people never steal. I'm gonna knock on wood real hard on this one. People don't steal stuff from our porch because our street is a little bit too high profile. And there's the tennis courts. There's always people there. Tennis court. When we first moved here, we kind of didn't like it, but then like we bought the house in spite of that, and now we love it. It's like the best security system ever because everyone there is regulars. They know what's going on. So anyway, what else was I going to talk about? Speaking of D, you remember yesterday I was talking about vitamin D. That was a rough transition. There was an article that came out today from Dr. Kenneth Cooper, who is the inventor of aerobics, actually, and the founder of Cooper Aerobics Center here in Dallas. And that's where Todd and I go get our major physicals. They x-ray all your organs. They put a little thing down your throat, check every inch of your skin, all that kind of stuff. Real big time thing. Total health guy. He had a study that came out, or an article, that vitamin D, and I think it was D2 specifically, is now proven or something to help avoid COVID infections. That is somehow, it keeps you, even if you're exposed, it keeps you from it actually catching in your system or something. And most people don't get enough vitamin D. And Todd and I are both, Todd's taken the vitamin D supplement forever. I've only started in like the last 6 months or so, because most people are like super vitamin D deficient, and the main way you get vitamin D is from the sunshine. And but it takes a lot more, and with sunscreens and stuff that we all use now, it actually keeps us from getting the sun's rays. So you get that. And if you have dark skin, you actually get less vitamin D because your melanin, is that the right thing? Not melatonin. Melatonin is the one that makes you sleepy. Melanin is the one that makes you black. Shit, Koopa says. Sorry, I don't mean it with any intention. Um, but so especially people of color need to take vitamin D and zinc. Also, we're taking zinc right now too. Zinc supposedly helps with everything. Like, isn't the pill that you take if like you're on the early stages of a flu or something, basically just like straight up zinc? Um, and Amazon sells out of vitamin D in 3, 2, 1. I can send you a link to where we buy all of ours online. We don't buy them from Amazon. It's like Vitamina or something. I can't remember. And Raven is agreeing. Vitamin D is important for innate immunity and boosts immune function against viral diseases. Yes. And I'm doing all the right things except for one wrong thing. So I'm walking. It's at 30 minutes a day of exercise. It doesn't have to be a sustained 30 minutes. It can be collectively, although I'm doing like 40 at one time. Um, Eating lots of green leafy vegetables and fruits and stuff, which I actually am. I don't have a sweet tooth, so I love vegetables. Vitamin D, zinc, and it said avoid drugs, which I don't do drugs, opioids, all that kind of stuff. But it did say that alcohol, you're supposed to limit yourself to only 7 drinks a week. I'm like, well, that's like a day and a half for me. Maybe. I think that's more like almost, that's almost, I'm probably like a 5 or 6 a night person. So, yeah. Todd said that he had his physical last week. He said that on the survey thing, it said it ranked like if you have more than 4 or 5 drinks a week, it was considered binge drinking. Like, binge? That sounds like a frat party. That sounds like a frat party to me. Me drinking a bottle of wine every night does not feel like or sound like binge drinking. Is that my coping mechanism? Am I? I don't know. I don't know. So, okay. So we're going to talk about one thing. I tried not to talk about it at the top of the show, but it was a big show last night. The vice presidential debate. And I typically don't watch the debates because I already know how I'm going to think and I see all the highlights. But I love Kamala Harris, and I wanted to see. And the vice presidential debates are usually a little bit less vitriolic, and both of these candidates typically have manners, and so it was a little bit better. Um, but so last night, so people obviously, depending on what party you're in, you had a very different opinion of what happened last night. There's a lot of people like I thought Kamala did great. A lot of people think that she was horrible, nasty. That's not how a classy woman acts. These are all code words for how women should act, by the way. But I think her goal last night was really to show America, like, I mean, American women know this, about how they're treated in a lot of situations, talked over, interrupted, all that stuff. And that she had a really hard balancing act because she could not, women can't come off as strong as men without being accused of being nasty, rude, monsters, not being a classy lady, all these things. I saw all these things on my social last night. So her thing was to win women. I think honestly, that was her thing last night. And her facial expressions, oh my God, the facial expressions were. She's like I saw a whole thing. Sarah says I nearly blew my lid at the not classy comment. I know. I think it's been deleted. Or are you talking about on my post or just generally? Because I saw one on mine last night from a college friend of mine who just reminded me of a topic I wanted to hit on too. Sorry. who said something like, "It's not becoming of a classy lady," and people started piling on, and I think it's disappeared since. She may not be following me anymore. Um, Peter's saying, "Doctors say I can have 2 martinis a day, no issue. Should be fine with wine." I'm having more than 2. Cheers to that. Mm. So, um, but yeah, that was just and all her faces. A lot of my black friends have been talking about like, "Ooh, America was just educated at the all the various faces of a black woman." And that's the other thing. That's a different balancing act she had to face is that she not only was going to come off as a nasty woman, but she would come off as an angry black woman. And that's code for all kinds of things too, right? And so then The Fly. I was watching that and I'm like, I mean, I get embarrassed in situations like that because I mean, he had no control over that. I don't know how he didn't feel it, but they know that Raven said she was full on Claire Huxtable with her expressions. Yes, it was. That is exactly what it was. And at one point, he said something. She goes, "That was a good line," and I was on the floor. I was like, "Oh, the sarcasm was great." But the fly, that fly, like first of all, where did it fucking come from? Where was it the whole time? Like, was it in his suit? Was it already in his hair? Was it just flying around the room and it said, "Ooh, that's white. It's laying there." Like, I don't know, like where it came from. I saw a lot of people joking, "Oh, it's Mike Pence and his only black friend." I thought that was really funny. Um, but like how and I was mortified for him, even though I don't want to be. Like situations like that, I'm like, oh my God. Like someone, I mean, and you can't be like, dude, because he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, what, you know? So there's nothing that could have been done other than maybe if he felt it, he kind of shoot it off. Also loved the double plexiglass screens. So it's not like they were blocking one person. It was like both of you are blocked. I thought that was hilarious as well. Um, uh, I'll let y'all read that one. Um, but the what else? That's all. That's all I have on that. I just thought that was I couldn't let that pass. But that fly just and Michelle is saying, screw that alcohol recommendation. I don't smoke anymore. I don't have sex anymore. Wine is all same, girl. Same. I never smoked, but all the others, yes. I'm like, if this is the worst thing that I do to myself, and with all the other stuff that I'm now doing to try to preserve everything, I've already told the kids that they're gonna have to drive me home from my I left someday. Um, but and what about her husband coming on stage with a mask on? A big FU to the other side. Yeah. And he had a big ass mask. It was like a ski mask. It was like you could that just one of the funny things about these masks now is obviously I know my eye cream is working and all of this because I've started getting ID'd for wine again. When I go to the store and they want to see my ID because I got the mask on. And who knew that we would have a mask wardrobe now? Like I have a whole fucking I got like 2 more arriving today. I've got one with little Texas flags or little Texas the trace out of the state on it with a little Texas flag on it. Can't remember what the other one was. I've got one with love and graffiti all over it that I like a lot. And then I've got some real simple black ones and some real simple blue ones. I don't like the white ones. I have some of those too. But who knew we would have a mask wardrobe these days? And I have a special basket that we're even putting them in at the door. Like I'll wash them and fold them and put them in this basket at the door. And it's our COVID basket. It's got disposable masks in case we need them. Occasionally we like using those instead. It's got the cloth mask, it's got the hand sanitizer, it's got a little bit of Clorox wipes, all that kind of stuff. They are the new accessory, yes. And I was actually I had a photo shoot yesterday for buying the school with a publication, and the broker was there, and she had this fancy ass like Carolina Herrera mask or something. It was like lace on the outside and then bunches of layers. It was stunning, gorgeous. It looked like something off like RuPaul's Drag Race. But here's the weird thing. And so we took this group photo and it was outside and we stood more than 6 feet apart. And so we didn't have to wear the masks because we didn't want the masks in the photo because it just looks stupid now, right? But at the same time, we didn't want people thinking that we weren't conscious about masks, right? Like, because every time I see a photo and I'm like, why aren't you wearing a mask, right? So I get it. So we decided that we were going to put the mask that we brought with us either around our wrist or in our hand or something, so people were aware that we were standing apart from each other, but we had a mask. This is the acrobatics. These are the hoops that we're jumping through these days to just send the message. Yes, I'm being safe, but I'm outside. I'm more than 6 feet away from each other. Um, I saw a lady with a big mask over her, with a zipper over her mouth so she could eat and drink. Well, that kind of defeats the point, right? And Sandy has a COVID basket too. Love it. And I think Beth is saying she does as well. Um, what else are we going to talk about? Oh, one thing on Facebook, and this is what I wrote down just real quick a minute ago. So people have been complaining like Facebook has got too much politics on it and all of that stuff, which I mean, for my taste, it does too right now. And again, I've just talked about it though. People forget to remember that you can largely control what you see on Facebook. Now, you can't completely because there's the algorithm and all of that, but you can snooze people. I've been real aggressive in the snoozing of the people. You can snooze them for 30 days. At this point, if you snooze someone, it's through the election cycle. So I mean, it might be the fallout from it that they come back on. But so I've been snoozing people like crazy that way. I've come to terms that just because I'm friends with you in real life does not mean I need to be friends with you on Facebook or that I need to see you. So I unfollow a lot of people. If I have like a visceral response to someone posting stuff a lot, I've just straight up unfollowed them, which is one step beyond snoozing. You can actually go in, like if someone shares an article, and like I have done this for Fox News, I've done it for MSNBC also, because I think both of them are equally guilty of being super extreme on things. If someone shares an article and it's from like Fox News, you can go and click in the little right corner and say hide all posts from Fox News, and you will never ever see a post that someone has shared from Fox News. Never, ever, ever. Interesting, right? And that works with any website. So if someone shares it, you can see all their other stuff, but you will not see that in your feed. It's helped tremendously. And what else was I going to say? So yeah, just there's ways to kind of filter people out and all of that. What else do I want to talk about? I'm close to time actually. Alamo Drafthouse is temporarily closing all of its Dallas locations, movie theater locations, because there's just not enough movies coming out. They're all being delayed. I saw that they delayed. James Bond was already supposed to be out, and they delayed it till the spring. Jurassic Park has been delayed to the spring. Like all these other movies, and so there's just literally not enough movies coming out. And I mean, and who wants to go to the fucking movies right now? I guess some people have. Have y'all gone to the movies? I will. That's one place. Sitting for 2 hours, 3 hours, in fairly close proximity to someone who I don't know, and you're eating popcorn or drinking wine or whatever. I'm not doing that. Amy's saying my keyring holder by the door is now a holder for clean masks, and the basket is for all the other stuff. Yes, we have the keyring holder, and it now has a bunch of masks. Claire's masks are all on that because she has her little mask wardrobe also, and all the rest of ours, all the boy masks, are in the other. And I walk with the mask as a bracelet when I'm outside, social distancing. Yeah, I mean these are the things that we're sending, right? And no movies. Jody's saying no movies for me. Look, oh, your little icon showed up. Something obviously kicked in. I don't know. No movies for you either. We'll see. Something got fixed. I love little small miracles, right? And then the only other thing I had to talk about was today. If you're a parent, you might get this. If you're a parent of kids, kind of my kids' age, or who have been my kids' age, a dark day. The kids are really into JoJo Siwa now. Oh my God. I was hoping that we would skip it. This insipid, like, and granted, I'm sure we had the same thing. We had Saved by the Bell and all of that, but uh, I told you this is why I don't want you near me when I'm talking about you.
I was reading a book.
Okay. And to JoJo Siwa, all these facts about JoJo Siwa. JoJo Siwa doesn't like American food. She only likes sushi and whatever, whatever, all this stuff. I'm like, JoJo Siwa. We're not buying the bows. Anyway, eek, JoJo. Oh, and the things are gone now. Um, Beth says who? Look it up. JoJo space SIWA. She's all the rage with the tweens, and has been for probably like 5 years now. She has a line at Target. She has she has a whole channel on YouTube. All that. So, and that's all I had. That's my time, y'all. That's what. Let me see if busted dad. I know. Listen, always listening. Always listening. You gotta be real careful. Michelle saying you must have snoozed the hell out of me. Then actually, I haven't. I think that Facebook is taking care of that. And you're a sweet old lady. I don't mind your stuff, and you're always funny. That's my thing. Also, I don't. If I ever exhibit outrage, I try to do it under the guise of entertaining you, making you laugh, making it funny, making it educational, not just like I don't want that. Like that's lazy social media if you do it that way. So I try to not do that. Jojo has been Jody's nickname forever. Well, look up Jojo Siwa. Y'all, there is no resemblance between. I think she was on Dance Moms, maybe, and then she got her own like spinoff, and she's kind of I think she's a Disney star actually now. So I don't know. Just learning about it. Don't really want to learn that much about it, but here we are. So with that, I'm gonna say bye. I love you. It's important to know you are loved. I love that you watch this. This is my therapy. Sucking it down today. And stay safe. Stay away from people. Carry your masks. Wear your masks. All of that. If there's any links that you want from me, let me know. I'll send it to you. Actually, yesterday's I put the links. I edited it and put them in the caption because there was a lot of things I was recommending yesterday. So I'll try to remember to start adding those. And tomorrow's Friday. We'll finish the week out strong.